Okay, we just found this unit dead up here. It just cranked up right now. One way you can check really quick to figure out what's wrong with it, you can actually touch this line right here and see how it feels. Okay, this line barely feels cold. Okay, it is cold. It is cool, but not cold, right? So this line is actually cool, and this line, you can tell, is just barely warm, right? So you can tell that this unit is low on Freon. Now, why did this machine actually cut on and off like that? These Trane units generally have a low pressure and a high pressure control in these units. So I'm pretty sure it's actually short cycling on low pressure control outside, okay? Since it doesn't have enough Freon, this unit will short cycle once it reaches to the pressure switch settings on this unit, okay? So it looks like everything's working with this unit, but it is short cycling with the low pressure control and the condensing unit. This is actually a 4-ton Trane unit. We're gonna go to the outside unit, and we're gonna see exactly what kind of problem we got outside. Well, today wasn't the easiest day. We can't get the padlock off this gate, so we have to do the ladder hack today to get to the other side, right? So sometimes you got to work a little extra hard for your money, right? And do double ladders, right? Okay, we did a video yesterday with the similar situation. The only difference is that that unit was actually an American Standard. Now this unit's a Trane. The only difference really between that American Standard and this unit is that that American Standard had a cutoff on the low pressure control on 50 psi-Gs. This unit, which is a Trane, the cutoff is a little bit higher on the low pressure control. It looks like it's cutting off at around 75. I'm going to show you on this unit again how these low pressure controls look. If you notice here, on the bigger pipe, which is about 3/4 pipe, you can see the low pressure control there. And then on the smaller pipe, right, you can see that that's your high pressure control, okay? But in this situation here, whenever you have low on Freon, and your system begins to short cycle where it turns on and off. Okay, so what does that low pressure control do? What it does is it actually cuts the circuit of your low voltage coming to this unit that's going to the contactor. So the sensor in that unit is designed to cut off whatever the manufacturer sets it at. On this unit, I believe it's at around 75 psi-Gs. So when this unit hits about 75 psi-Gs, it actually cuts the low voltage going to your contactor in here, okay? So I actually turned off the unit so that way you can see the low pressure and the high pressure control here. We're gonna crank up this unit really quick here. All right. So if we look right over here, we're at around 100, right? This is around 300. So the unit's still running, okay? But what's going to happen though, it's going to take a while before it hits 75 or 80. But once it hits to around 75, this unit's going to cut off because that low pressure control, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put some Freon in the system, and that'll be it. Now, it's also a good idea, before you put Freon in the unit, you kind of want to guesstimate what your high pressure is going to be. If you look at the situation over here, it has pretty good ventilation. The coil's a little bit dirty, but not too bad. These coils run pretty good on the high pressure side. So this machine on a hot day like today, it's about 95 degrees out here. I would estimate we're going to get around, let's say, between 350 and 360 maybe on the high side, and about maybe 125 and 135 on the actual suction side. Let's charge up this unit. So right now we're at about 118. You're charging these units, okay? You notice, rule of thumb, you should be somewhere in this range, okay? But it is going to vary, you know, on the outdoor and temperature conditions of this unit. So outside's about 95, but actually inside is about, let's say, maybe 83, 84. So this gauge isn't going to be that high, okay? Alright, so what you want to do is when you're almost close to recharging your system, okay, you want to closely look at this discharge gauge. And when this gauge actually stops moving, okay, that it's literally telling you that you can't squeeze any more refrigerant into your air conditioning system. So we're getting really close to where this gauge isn't going to move anymore, okay? So we're going to put about a pound of Freon in, and we're going to see how much this high discharge gauge moves, okay? Now pay attention with this one over here. If you notice that it is moving, okay? It's moving slowly, which is okay. It did move a little bit. So you're at about 130. This one did move, okay? We could probably put about another quarter pound in the system just to get it right to the sweet spot, okay? But if it doesn't move, then you don't want to put no more either, okay? So pay close attention to this gauge over here, so that way you don't overcharge your unit. Okay, you see it's not moving now. It's moving just a hair. Okay, it actually moved a little bit right there. Okay, for this particular unit, this is about the sweet spot on a day like today. You're at around let's say 135 and 345. You're getting a good sweat back out to your suction line over here. Okay, this is pretty much good. All right, thanks for watching the video.